In this video, we're going to do the phase 2 analysis for Matthew 17, verse 1. And the first thing to notice is that we're in the English project, not the analyzer. And to get to Matthew 17:1, we go to Utilities, Proposition Analysis. And here we are. Now, when I send this to you, you'll already see something here, some analysis here. Before I send you the project, I will have run the analyzer. And the analyzer has done its best, but it makes many mistakes. So that's the job of the phase 2 people, is to correct the analyzer's mistakes. So to correct the mistakes here in Matthew 17:1, first we look down here and we see that this text box is empty. Sometimes there will be text here, sometimes not. When there's not text, the first thing to do is click the Generate button. And then we read this text. Into Jesus is changed by God on a mountain. Okay, so already we see multiple problems. After 6 days, Jesus led Peter, James, and John, there should be commas after those, to a tall mountain, and they went up it. He was James' brother. Okay, so you can see there are multiple mistakes here. Let's look up here. Jesus is changed by God, implicit active agent on a mountain. Okay, so we want to set, the analyzer did set this to passive. See, their topic noun phrase is most patient-like. Implicit active agent, that means we need to tag this agent noun phrase as optional agent of passive. By the way, before you do this, there are about 4 or 5 videos that describe all of the features that we use in the TBTA system. You need to have watched those videos first so that you'll be familiar with the feature system. And then they say change T, but the analyzer didn't get that. So let's change this to change sense T, to change something so that it's different. Okay. Hopefully that will correct the first sentence. We'll find out in a minute. After 6 days, Jesus led Peter, James, and John. Okay, there should be commas there. So Jesus led, to lead people on a journey, that's right. Okay, the analyzer didn't get this right. This should be, first let's check the order. Jesus led Peter, James, and John. So the order is right. This should be set as the first in a sequence, and it correctly as the patient. This should be set as coordinate, and this should be set as last. Okay, got this one right. Jesus led Peter and James and John to a tall mountain after 6 days. And by the way, if you're wondering why after 6 days is fronted, it's because days here has been set to significant time. So the analyzer got that right. Up here in the phase 1 text, after 6 days, that was fronted up here, so the analyzer knew this was a significant time. Okay, let's go to the last sentence. And they went up it. He was James' brother. Okay, and they went up that mountain where the people were. Okay, now this part, this is saying, and John, who was James' brother. This is a relative clause, but it's not in the right noun phrase. Let's move this. And to move this, when you want to move just one constituent, you just click on it. When you want to move multiple constituents, you hold down the Control key, you click on it, and you see it change to blue. Then you click on the last constituent that you want to move. Okay, now it's all copied over to a buffer. Okay, James and John. Okay, this is a relative clause modifying John. So let's put it right there. This named Peter, that's not right either. Okay, Jesus, Peter, James, and John. Okay, so this phrase, we want to move this phrase now. So I'll hold down the Control key, click there. So Jesus, Peter, James, and John. Okay, we're going to delete this named add position there. Okay, this is, and Jesus, Peter, James, and John, these are all agents. So this is the first agent. This is a coordinate agent. This is a another coordinate agent. And this is the last agent, and John. Okay, now, and Jesus, Peter, James, and John. Okay, this is a descriptive relative clause. And if we look here, right now it's set to restrictive. I'm going to generate like this so you can see the difference. Okay, let's give that a try. So we click the generate button. And by the way, I time-lapse these, so on your computer it will probably take considerably longer to generate this first. I cut that part out to make these videos shorter. But let's see. Jesus is changed by God. Oh, okay, we never changed this. We need this to be an optional agent of passive. Jesus is changed on a mountain. After 6 days, Jesus led Peter, James, and John to a tall mountain. And Jesus, Peter, James, and John. Okay, now a descriptive relative clause will always have a comma right there. Right now, this is set to restrictive. And that's one way you can tell the difference between the two clauses, the two types of relative clauses. So let's change this to a descriptive relative clause. Went up that mountain where there weren't other people. Okay, let's give that a try. Title: Jesus is changed on a mountain. Okay, so this optional implicit agent is no longer in the generated text. Jesus is changed on a mountain. After 6 days, Jesus led Peter, James, and John to a tall mountain. And Jesus, Peter, James, and John, comma, who was James' brother, went up that mountain where there weren't other people. Okay, now that matches this quite well. Sometimes the phase 1 people need to do something a little unusual. Like here they didn't say went up because the analyzer doesn't understand went up. So they put in go up because the analyzer can understand that. But when this text here matches this text up here reasonably well, that means you're done. So this is fine, and we're going to save this, and in the next video we'll work on Matthew 17 too.